In the spring of 1955, a group of 20 concerned Cetronia residents met to discuss the possibility of starting their own ambulance service to the community.
The hospital, of course, had limited service with their ambulance in Allentown. The need sort of developed over the years.
So we went to see the Red Cross, and we asked them to give us a first aid course, and they agreed. And at the same time we were taking the first aid course, we talked to a used car dealer who said he had a used ambulance, and we looked at it, we bought it. The man gave it to us, actually. We had no money to pay for it, but we promised that as we got the money, we would pay him, and we did.
Humble beginnings. That first year, these intrepid founders answered 29 calls, and the community rallied behind them. Volunteer support was high.
We were one of the first ambulance organizations in Pennsylvania to become certified in CPR. We became certified as instructors. Not only did we teach our own people, but we taught fire companies and other ambulances.
We had a lot of interest in the whole area. We didn't do all of this ourselves. I mean, we depended on people helping us.
We tried to get a standardization in training, qualification for the people in the ambulances. When it came to going out on that ambulance, the feeling was we worked together, and we worked very closely together. Most of the times we knew what the other person was going to do.
The funding of this burgeoning organization was equally as interesting.
We were maybe at one time noted more for our hoagie sales than we were for our ambulance service.
Well, it got to the point where we couldn't run the ambulances anymore on donations. We had to get a system of billing.
We needed funds. We originally started a subscription drive.
Now, boy, did that go over.
Yeah, it did go over.
We must have had, what, 20,000, 25,000 people under that. And that was the beginning of our self-support, where we didn't have to work as hard anymore raising funds.
We billed Medicare for any transportations that we did. We started billing insurance companies for emergency calls, for accidents.
In 1962, the Corps incorporated as a nonprofit organization, and that same year handled 390 calls. Then, on September 16, 1967, they dedicated their new operations facility.
We eventually had people coming in from outside of the area that were serving as members of the ambulance corps. And it just mushroomed over the years.
By 1973, membership increased to over 100 volunteers, and the ambulance fleet increased to 4 Cadillacs with an average call volume of over 3,000 per year. The fleet's mileage skyrocketed to over 30,000 and continued to climb. A Dodge van and an $80,000 mobile emergency room rounded out the upgrades for that year.
They went from a period of time in the late 70s where EMTs were first coming to life, where prior to that it was just advanced first aid. Then we moved to EMT, and then we moved to EMT paramedic.
By 1987, call volume had reached well over 10,000 per year. And along with continual upgrades to equipment, ambulance and administrative staff, came the need to increase communications.
Our transition from a volunteer comm center where we had many volunteers that were dispatching, but we recognized that to be responsive to the needs and have consistency, that would need to add some employees and some level of professionalism in there. Today we have an awesome dispatch team that really does a good job. Today we boast the health professional program, which is the RN paramedic, if you will.
I've been out on the streets for a little over 6 months. Been a registered nurse since '97, and I was a medic in the military prior to that.
I've been a medic for about 6 years, maybe 7, almost 7. Before that, I was an EMT for 2.5 years. Currently going through a nursing program, hoping to further my education so that I can participate in other activities that Cetronia is planning on doing, like the critical care transports and so on.